4 years ago, I started experimenting on a method that would bring me to, ultimately, to get to here. I didn't know if I was going to get there. I didn't know if it was going to actually work. But I've been working on it for about 4 years. And I have these 3 pieces because I want to show you what happens in the process and the firing in order to get to this final piece. So I throw a piece. Obviously, they're not all the same. I throw a piece, and then I put it through a bisque firing at about 1800 degrees. Once it's out of the bisque firing, I take and I put an underglaze here, and in this case it's a red underglaze, and then I put another underglaze here, and then I kind of paint it back so it isn't a straight line. And then I put it back in the kiln and I fire it again to about 1800 degrees. When it comes out, I go to a process of dipping glaze. So if you could just imagine this is the process here, and underneath this I have black, this black engobe or colorant. And then I dip it to here, and that's a glaze. And that glaze is there specifically to help me stop from the crystalline glaze running all the way off the pot. It actually holds it back. The next process is dipping the entire piece in my crystalline glaze, which is 50 years in the making, let's put it that way. And dipping it just to about here. So in the firing, I end up with a piece where, in order for crystals to form, and a lot of you folks know this, but for those who don't, in order for crystals to form, the glaze has to be flowing, because the zinc and silica in my formula are looking for one another. They form a little nucleus, as you can see in the center of all of these crystals, and that nucleus then starts growing the crystal, and over 4 to 6 hours the crystals are growing on the piece. I have no idea where they're going to form. When I open up the kiln, it's like the holidays. They go, oh my gosh, look what we got. And sometimes it's the other way around. At any rate, in this particular instance, again, I glazed to about here with my crystalline glazing. You can see how it flowed all the way down. But what it does in the interim is it makes these little flames. Now the flames are the underglaze from here, this glaze here. And the glaze itself, this top glaze, the crystalline glaze, flowing past it and giving this effect. So we have a bunch of microcrystals growing in here, and here, all the way around. So that's a process, again, that's taken a lot of years to get to here. I've got 3 firings that I do. And in the final firing, obviously, is the crystalline firing. That firing, in order to get these growth rings that I have here, in other words, we have the main crystal, and then we have little rings that grow around it. I turn the kiln on and off somewhere between 6 and 8 times, depending upon what I'm looking for in those rings. And that gives me these little circles around the crystal. And there you have it.